Good morning, everybody. I'm Meteorologist Ryan Hoke with your Saturday edition of the Hokey video blog. Hope your Saturday is off to a good start. We're off to a chilly start across Kentuckiana. I was out at the Louisville Zoo all morning long on Wave 3 News Sunrise, and it was a little chilly out there as we were celebrating, of course, Earth Day, which happens in a few days. But, of course, they are having Earth Day celebrations all month long out there, and we talked about some of the Lego sculptures they've got out there and some of the compost and mulch that they've got for folks wanting to get their gardens and landscaping ready. It is that time of year. We can definitely tell because those temperatures are going to be in the 60s today and the 70s tomorrow. Here's a live look now from your Kentucky One SkyTrack network of cameras looking at Louisville. You see all the clear skies in the background. There are the cool temperatures we talked about. 35 now in Paoli as of 8 o'clock this morning. 40s elsewhere across the area. The satellite radar view has been telling the story because it's just been flat out clear this morning. No clouds to contend with across our 29 counties. In fact, you have to go all the way to central Illinois or east of the Appalachians to find any cloud cover. It's all because we've got this area of high pressure in place, and as that moves through, that's going to be keeping us nice and dry over the next couple of days. So if you're heading out to the Bats game at Slugger Field this evening, first pitch at 6:05 versus Toledo, 67 degrees, sunny, dry. And as we go throughout the 7th inning, clear skies, 60 degrees. So take a jacket because it will get a little nippy there at the very end of the game. All right, the high pressure moves eastward, goes toward the Delmarva Peninsula as we go throughout tomorrow. That brings up that southerly wind component, and we all know what that means. When we get a south wind from the Gulf of Mexico, things warm up. And they warm up quick. In fact, we'll get up to 77 degrees tomorrow. Things do change, though, as we go throughout your Monday. And that comes in the order of some rain and probably even some thunderstorms. We're not getting off-the-charts instability here on this. In fact, it's pretty low, so we will see some thunderstorms, but severe weather, I don't think it's going to be a big deal, folks. I think most of these storms are just going to be really just showers and heavy rain downpours at times with just a few rumbles of thunder. And that's it, all right? Here's a 7-day breakdown for you. You'll notice that rain chance on Monday, I've upped it to 80% because I do think the coverage on these showers and even a couple of thunderstorms will be quite high. Most of us will see them. We'll be in the 70s through the balance of the work week. Wednesday, yeah, we do have that storm chance in there once again. There's scattered storms, not a huge deal. Wednesday's the pick of the week when it comes to a lack of rainfall, though, if we had to pick a work week day, and that would be certainly 70 degrees for the high temperature there. By Thursday, the storm chance does increase once again, but I do want to caution you, the end of this week, or end of next week rather, has a lot of question marks, has a lot of territory that we want to make sure that we cover very well because we've got a big event coming up. Thunder over Louisville. Yeah, nothing to sneeze at, right? So we want perfect weather for Thunder over Louisville. Let's go through some of the computer data here. I want to show you what we're looking at for that time frame. Here's the current 850 millibar wind chart from the GFS model. This is showing you here this week on the 14th, Tuesday. Shows that little bit of cool air coming in. Notice how the high temperature was 70 as we went throughout your Wednesday or Tuesday rather, where it was 73 on Monday. A little cold front comes through. You can see that there as evidenced by that little trough of cold air over eastern Canada moving on through. And we warm up a bit. In fact, we warm up into the 70s again throughout most of the rest of the work week. But then by Friday, we start to watch what happens out here. Look what this is. See that big bubble of cold air? This is a cutoff upper level low. Ah, yes, we have to talk about this again, meteorologically speaking. This happens every spring or so. We get these in the winter, too. Really, any time of the year they can happen, but in the spring, that's when they really cause havoc around here. Not in terms of really severe weather much, but it's just kind of a persistent cool pattern with rain that we're worried about. And this would be for Friday into, yeah, Saturday, possibly. We'll have to see how that works. The models last night, the last night runs of the models, except for the Euro and the GFS, but I mean, last night in terms of the 18Z, the 12Z, so really yesterday, those models were showing a pretty dry Saturday. But the 0Z runs, that would have been very early this morning when we got those in. That was when we started to see this trend toward this upper level low stagnating, kind of meandering about. That's kind of a problem because that's going to bring us the shower chances and the potential for some cooler air in time for Thunder over Louisville. Both the GFS and the Euro now showing this as of the 0Z runs. Let me show you their precipitation output. This is from the GFS again. We're showing you here Thursday just to get the idea that may have a few storms around. I don't think severe weather is going to be a big deal this week. I think we may have storms around, But it's not going to be like last week, where like almost every afternoon was an explosion of chaos when it comes to severe weather. Even though we didn't really have much in the way of tornado touchdowns around here, we had only one, I think, in our 29 counties. It was just kind of a handful because the storms were pretty high in coverage, so most folks did get some pretty heavy storm activity. Not this upcoming week. I think it's going to be a little calmer in terms of the storm intensity, but we're still going to get some storms here and there. But here's the deal. Look at this. This is Saturday at 11:30. You got fireworks going off before this, all right? Yeah, numerous rain showers across the area according to the GFS model here. The Euro, of course, on board. Kind of a similar look with this as well. It has some showers across that corridor right there. We'll see how this works. These upper-level lows, these cutoff lows like this, they are very tedious to forecast because they don't have a whole lot of upper-level winds to drive them, so they don't really have anything to inspire them to move them along, so they can kind of just meander about as they please. That causes havoc on our forecasts. So what you need to do is check back with our forecast this week multiple times, because the closer we get, I should say, to the event, the better we'll be able to gauge how long this upper level low is going to stay around. If it jets off to the east real quick, we're in good shape. But some of the trends this morning, a little bit disturbing for thunder. Let's cross our fingers that we can get that out of here on time. Anyway, that's just the latest look at some of the data right now. And of course, we've got a beautiful weekend to get through first, so let's enjoy what we have and of course get outside and reap the benefits of this beautiful dry weather. For now, I'm Meteorologist Ryan Hoke. I will see you bright and early Sunday morning.